All right, what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be recapping last night's playoff basketball. Had a couple game threes last night. We're going to talk about it all here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. It's my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the first game we had Mavericks Thunder game number 3. The Mavericks escape with a 105-101 victory. They take a 2-1 series. They win back-to-back games. This was a very good game. Very good kind of back and forth style game. I felt like Dallas had a little advantage early, but then OKC kind of cut into the lead, but then took the lead, but Dallas was still in there. It was a very back and forth war type of game. Like one team would go on a big run, then another team would come back and make a big run of their own and a little more, and then the other team would cut back into that lead. It was very just like swing, 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 all over the place. Dallas ends up winning the game, thanks to Kyrie Irving, who had 8 points, went 4-4 in the quarter. Derek Lively hit a couple big free throws in the fourth quarter. Luca had a pretty solid game as well. Yeah, PJ Washington. How could I not talk about PJ Washington after having 29 points in game 2 and was a hero of game 2? He comes in game 3 and has another amazing performance, 27 points, 5 for 12 from 3. He had a big first, I think he had he had 19 of his 22 or 27 in the first half, 5 more threes. He was spectacular again. I mean, again, the thing about OKC in this series is they're fine as long as Luka and Kyrie aren't shooting the ball. They're okay with it. And PJ Washington has been lighting them up. PJ Washington took 23 shots in this game, which is the most. He took the same amount of shots as Shea did. That's something right there. But they were leaving PJ Washington open. He was knocking it down. Credit to him. He's hit 12 threes in the past 2 games. That's huge. They take a 2-1 series lead. Luka, 22, 15, and 5. He looks a lot better. He wasn't as efficient. He's only 7 for 17, 1 for 4 from 3, which is interesting. He only took 4 3-pointers in this game, but he got to the free throw line a lot, so that was good. But yeah, he definitely looks a lot better in these last 2 games. He looks a lot more comfortable out there in the court after game 1 where he was really hobbling, but he came out, he rebounded the ball well. He made some nice reads, and in the fourth quarter when they needed him to, he provided. Kyrie as well, 22, 5, and 7 on 10 for 17 shooting. Didn't really start popping off until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, he had a couple of big shots. He had that that spin fadeaway shot, and then he had the left-handed layup or floater to kind of, put the game away ish. So yeah, Kyrie Irving just being phenomenal again. Derek Lively was huge in this game as well. He was a big factor in this game. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 8 for 12 from the free throw line. When they started playing the Hack a Lively game in the fourth quarter, Derek Lively stepped to the free throw line and made a huge free throws that were, I mean, they were game changing. They were game changing, and the way he did in the defensive end has been big. I love what the Dallas bigs have been so big in this series, and that was my X factor coming into this series was the Dallas big men. Can they put pressure on Chet Holmgren? Can they get the easy ones? When Luke and Kyrie drive to the paint, can those guys capitalize? And so far, those two have been pretty solid this series. Their numbers don't look crazy. It's not like they're averaging 10 and 10 or anything like that, but they're doing some really nice things. Dale Gafford, 4 for 5 from the field. Derek Lively, and last night's game was big from the free throw line and rebounding and defensively. They were big. So yeah, having that from Dallas is big. They shot 11 for 33 from the field. The rebounding has been a big thing. They had 15 offensive rebounds in this game. That was a huge game changer right there. I mean, Luka had 3 offensive rebounds. Derek Lively had 3 offensive rebounds. Derek Jones, Kyrie, PJ Washington all had 2 offensive rebounds. The only person that didn't have an offensive rebound for the Mavericks is Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, so everybody in there. I mean, Dante Jackson played 5 minutes and got an offensive rebound. So the offensive rebound's been big, and we knew this about the Thunder. The Thunder are not. They're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. It hasn't really caught up to them at this point, but last night it did, and Dallas was you know, was taking advantage of it. Obviously, they're taking advantage of it late in this game. Well, throughout the entirety of the game, really. Like they're taking advantage of it, getting extra opportunities, and with a team like Dallas or any team in the playoffs, you don't want to give any extra opportunities. I mean, the Knicks have literally been winning games because of their offensive rebound, and the Dallas Mavericks did last night, even though they didn't have an amazing shooting night from 3. Besides PJ Washington, everybody else didn't really shoot the ball that well. Like Kyrie was 2 for 6, Luka was 1 for 4, Derek Jones was 0 for 3, Tim Hardaway 2 for 5, Josh Green 1 for 3, and they missed 9 free throws, shot 64% from the free throw line, where most of it Luka and Derek Lively took most of the free throws in the game. Dale Gafford missed 2 free throws though too, and you still get the win because the offensive rebound. The offensive rebound was big in this one because both teams have the same amount of turnovers. It wasn't like a big foul discrepancy. Dallas actually took a little more free throws than OKC. Both teams didn't shoot the ball crazy from three or from the field. Both teams shot the same percentage from three. Dallas was 11 for 33. OKC was 10 for 30. The rebounding was huge. And for OKC, Shea, 31, 10, and 6 with 5 blocks on 10 for 23 shooting. You could definitely tell at some point in the game, late in the game, Shea was kind of forcing it a little bit. You could kind of tell at the end of the game, Shea was kind of like, all right, I got to take this team home. And he tried hard, but he didn't get it done at the end of the day. In the fourth quarter, 1 for 6, 1 for 2 from three, 6 points. Most of his points came from the free throw line. Yeah, there's definitely some times where Shea definitely could have found Chet or could have found someone else, and he kind of took it himself and kind of was trying to force it, which I don't mind really because he's a 30-point scorer, he's a superstar. Like there's most times than not he's gonna make the shot or he's gonna get fouled because it's Shea. But in this game, it kind of didn't work in their favor. J Dub, 16, 6, and 8 on 7 for 12 shooting. He did have the little injury scare in the third, but he came back in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Chet, 13, 8, and 3, but 4 blocks on 5 for 9 shooting. Didn't really get the ball as much. He took 4 shots in the second half. He was 3 for 3 in the fourth quarter. 0 for 1 in the third quarter. Like I think he only took 5 shots in the first half. I think he needs the ball more. I think he needs the ball more because he's a game changer for them. I think. And Isaiah Joe was a good game off the bench as well. 13 points, he had 3 3-pointers. Lou Dort fouled out in this game. The last 2 games he's been in foul trouble. Only shot 2 for 7 from three in this game. And then Josh Giddey only played 13 minutes, had 9 points. He was a -1 in the game. We already know. I already said what I had to say about Josh Giddey, in my last video talking about OKC. But yeah, just a tough loss for OKC. The age is definitely showing a little bit, which isn't a bad thing. They are the youngest, one of the youngest teams in the league. They're the youngest, probably the youngest team in the playoffs by far at this point. You know, and they just haven't had the experience of a close playoff game like this. The last 2 games, where it's like close playoff games, we got to close it out. Dallas has just been better than them. It's like it's not. That's the thing. It's not like OKC has been playing bad the last 2 games. That's the thing. OKC hasn't been playing bad at all the last 2 games. It's just that coming down the stretch, Dallas is a more experienced team at the end of the day, and it's been paying off. Kyrie Irving can hit a couple big shots late in this game. Luka Doncic can hit a couple shots, even though he hasn't really shot the ball well the first 3 quarters. He can come down the fourth quarter and hit a big shot or two and steal the game. OKC hasn't had those opportunities yet to play. But it's not a bad thing. OKC is going to learn from this, and it's 2-1 now. Also, why is Gordon Hayward still playing? I don't know why Gordon Hayward. He played 3 minutes last night, mostly because Jalen Williams got injured for a little bit. But why is Gordon Hayward playing right now? I don't. He's done nothing. He has not. Gordon Hayward has played 7 playoff games. 7 playoff games in OKC. Six. He's played a couple minutes in every playoff game. He has not scored. He has not scored in how many minutes has he played in the playoffs? Let's see. He's played totals. He's played 46 minutes. 46 minutes, and he has 13 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block, 0 for 3 from the field. That's all he's done. He's been out there rebounding and running around. So I don't know why Gordon Hayward is playing anymore. He should not be playing anymore. I guess it's just the veteran that maybe he can hit a shot or two, but Gordon Hayward doesn't need to play in this in this playoffs for OKC. Those 3 minutes can go to Isaiah Joe or Cason Wallace, who've been doing a really good job, or Aaron Wiggins. Get more Aaron Wiggins minutes. Aaron Wiggins is really, really good. But yeah, Dallas now up 2-1. They have a little momentum. Game 4 is obviously going to be a huge game. Difference between a 2-2 and a 3-1 series. And I'm interested to see how OKC bounces back from the last one. I definitely think Chet Holmgren needs to get a little bit more involved on the offensive end. Maybe that's the game plan, or maybe that's Shea having to pass the ball a little more. But I think Chet Holmgren has to be a little more involved in the offense. He only took 9 shots. He took the same amount of shots as Lou Dort. I don't think that should be a thing that happens. He only took 1 more shot than Josh Giddey. That definitely and he played 20 more minutes than Josh Giddey. That's not a thing that should happen at all either. So yeah, I think Chet needs to get a little more involved in the offensive end. But Dallas, again, OKC, I can't really fault them. They haven't been playing bad basketball. It's just that Dallas has been better in late game situations. And then we have the Celtics and Cavaliers game 3. Boston comes out, gets business done, wins 106 to 93. They take a 2-1 series lead in this one. Really, the start of the third quarter. The start of the third quarter was the game right there. Boston starts the third on a 14-0 run, and at that point, just no coming back. And the thing is, that was really the game changer because after the 14-0 run to start, Cleveland outscored them by a lot. Well, not a whole lot, but Cleveland outplayed them after that 14-0 run. After the 14-0 run, Cleveland outscored Boston 43-37. I think something like that, 43-37. And it was only what? It was a 9-point lead at halftime for Boston. So at that point, if that 14-0 run doesn't happen, Cleveland is in this game, really. But it's just that start of the third quarter where Derek White hit a couple threes, Drew Holiday hit a 3-pointer, Jalen Brown hit a three, and it was like, oh man, here we go, you know. But Boston gets the win. Tatum had his by far his best game of the playoffs. There's been a lot of conversation about Jason Tatum and how he's performing in this playoff so far. He hasn't really had a big game or really any. He hasn't been shooting the ball well. He hasn't been playing great basketball. Like he hasn't been playing to the level of Jason Tatum that he could play. And he responded 33, 13 and 6, 11 for 25 shooting, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. He looked a lot more aggressive in this game, looked a lot more willing to attack the basket and get to the rim and get to the mid range and get to the free throw line, do all that stuff, which is a big sign. If they can keep playing like this, the Celtics are going to be in an amazing position. Jalen Brown also had a great game 28 and 9 on 13 for 17 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3. If I mean, I want to talk about efficiency, man. 76% from the field on a 28-point game is big. And then, yeah, Drew Holiday also had a great game. Drew Holiday also has not been amazing so far throughout these playoffs in terms of scoring, numbers, shooting the ball wise. But 18, 8, and 5 last night, 7 for 10. He had 3 3-pointers. And Derek White also hit another 3 threes and had 12 points. Boston, 13 3-pointers, 11 for 14 from the free throw line. And yeah, they rebounded Cleveland as well. The offensive rebounds were big. Boston had 9 offensive rebounds. Al Horford had 3 offensive rebounds in this game. I think that was a big decider as well, where Boston just got a lot of extra opportunities. And when you give this team an extra opportunities, they're most likely going to convert on it. So Boston did that. But for Cleveland, another game where Donovan Mitchell's the only one that really shows up. 33, 6 and 3, no turnovers, 12 for 22. He had 7 3-pointers in this game. And yeah, Evan Mobley has 17 and 8, 7 for 11. Levert had 15. Garland had 15. He was only 1 for 6 and 3. But yeah, 12 for 33% from 3, 12 for 36 from 3, 10 free throw attempts. They had actually won the turnover battle. Only had 8 turnovers in this game. But it was the start of that third quarter. That third quarter run at the beginning was the game was that was the game right there. That was the game. If Cleveland, if that's not a 14-0 run, that's like maybe a 7-0 run, and Cleveland can respond, this is an entirely different game. But that start of the third quarter where Boston came out, hit like 3 threes, Jason Tatum had a shot, and Jason Tatum had an and one, I think, that really decided the game because Cleveland tried to catch up, but it was just when you're down 17 to a team like Boston, it's just, especially with the offense Cleveland has, it's just so tough to consistently get back going, you know. Isaiah Coro as well, not a great game. 2 points, 1 for 7, 0 for 4 from 3. Only played 17 minutes. He's out there for defensive purposes. Obviously, he's the best perimeter defender on the Cavaliers. But if he's not hitting shots, I don't really know. Maybe you throw Karis LeVert or Dean Wade, who's back and hit a 3-pointer in this game. But I was actually saw he was a plus 12 in his 16 minutes. So maybe Dean Wade probably gets a lot more opportunity in the next game to see. But yeah, just a tough loss for Cleveland. You know, when they really were in the game in that start of the third quarter. But Boston took advantage, and now we'll see what happens in Game 4. Another big Game 4, Cleveland. If they can win Game 4, that's gonna that's gonna be big. That would be huge if they win Game 4. But Boston, maybe now with this momentum, maybe after that Game 2 loss, kind of finally realize, all right, let's not play around with our food. Let's come out and let's kill. You know, like we should be doing. So I assume they're gonna come out with that mentality in Game 4 and the rest of the series, but who knows? You know, who knows? Donovan Mitchell might have to put on his cape again and go another Superman performance if they want to win another game in this series. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.